across the town at London Bridge Station, exactly 7:16 p.m. Commuters stand in a not so socially distanced huddle underneath the departures board, waiting information as to the next destination, be it platform or otherwise, but I breezed right past. The journey home is an old one for me. Walked so many times I feel like it's built into my bones. You know how babies have that thing? That when they're born, you can just sort of put them into water and they'll just know how to swim. I feel like I have that, except it's not hydrophilia. It's an innate knowledge for the train timings between Old Street and Petts Wood. I reckon that if you slid me out of the womb and onto that station platform, I'd be able to pick myself up, brush myself off, and toddle down to the Northern Line, ready to get the 6:52 southbound 3 stops to London Bridge Station. Here, it's up the first 2 escalators, up the flight of stairs, across the tube terminal platform, and into London Bridge Station proper, before getting up the final escalator onto platform 1, ready for the 7:20 train to Petts Wood. Here, my little baby self would consider getting a crappy station coffee, but think better of it, before smoothly stepping onto the train, little baby suitcase in hand, at the expectedly late time of 7:22. Then, I'd hopefully sit, but probably stand, for the good 20 minutes it takes to get home. And I'd step off the train and walk down the road. It's incredibly mundane, but also endlessly satisfying, like those YouTube videos of people cleaning windows. Things are different at the moment, though. The station isn't packed. I always get the seat next to that one too, and instead of seeing the disgruntled scowls of London workers, I just have to imagine them behind their perfectly pressed face masks. Everyone except for Jeremy from accounting. Jeremy from accounting has always got the same train as me, but he feels the need to remind me of it every single day by awkwardly smiling at me from across the platform. He's also one of the people who hasn't quite got the idea of face masks yet. No, there's his awkward little smile for the whole platform to see. Good thing now, though, is he doesn't know if I'm smiling back or not. Things feel different today, though. Differenter. Feels like someone's blown air into the terminal. Feels lighter, cleaner, like I'm standing at a higher altitude, standing on the top of a mountain in the middle of London. I'm walking across to platform 1 when suddenly I'm caught by a woman approaching from my right, seemingly heading towards the same escalator as me. Obviously, I pick up my pace. She seems to do the same, the click of her court shoes getting quicker against tiled floor. I shoot her a look, almost a cautionary glance, to warn her that she's messing with the wrong speed walker, and I catch her eyes. But instead of them flashing in annoyance or frustration, sure the way that mine do, I'm caught with the sight of a mischievous grin and a slight sparkle in her eyes. Is she laughing at me? Then I notice that she's used this moment of confusion with me to pull ahead, dart onto the escalator and begin jogging up. Obviously I follow, matching her pace. I'm sure we both look ridiculous now doing the 500-metre sprint across London Bridge Station, but I don't really care. My eyes are fixed on the place that her heels leave, mine hitting there just a moment afterward, finding some kind of slipstream in the way the air moves around her. And then, just as I was about to catch her, right at the top of the escalator, something happens. As she goes to step off the escalator and onto the platform, she just doesn't. No click of courtship against tiling. No impact of foot on floor. She just steps off the escalator and into the air. I can hardly believe it at first, but she then carries on, climbing into nothingness, climbing over the heads of the other commuters. They don't even turn to look. And as I'm held, spellbound by it, I realise that I'm still running too. I look down at my feet and I notice that I'm floating too. I'm already a good metre and a half off the floor, and then I feel a pressure on my chin, and it's her. She's turned me to face her. She's not running anymore. Well, she's still moving, but she's not running away. And I take her hand in mine, and we rise together. It's like a shit commuter version of the Snowman. But we're gone. Rising, and we leave the station, and we leave the street, and we even leave the goddamn Shard behind us as we run. And I see England falling away beneath us as we rise and the country shrinks. And then we're in Yorkshire, and then in Scotland, and then blue, so much blue. And then so much white, I'm guessing that's Greenland, and I've realised that I'm still holding my briefcase. And then blue again, and then more white, and then more blue as a whole ocean stretches out beneath us. And we dip down and skim our toes through the water as we stain black leather with sea salt. I can taste the spray on my tongue, and I know it's exactly what the North Pacific tastes like, even though I've never even been there before. And then our grip shifts in mine as our fingers interlace and we begin to do cartwheels. Or at least my stomach does. And then we're rising again. I'm leading the way this time. Through the upper atmosphere, past planets and moons, I slap an asteroid out of the way, and I become very aware that I left my briefcase behind a long time ago. And I look back at her, and her eyes are fixed on mine, and she's glowing. Stardust in her hair and on her face. It makes that little bit above your lips, it makes hers sparkle. And I become aware that nothing is ever going to exist past this moment. Nothing at all. And then I blink and there's a rush around and I'm standing on platform 1 again. But she's there. And she's holding my hand. And she's smiling at me. And the 7:20 train to Pettswood leaves the station.